Okay, so in my island update from over here in Mallorca, well, I've got a big travel news update. If you're coming in particularly from a third country, so say from the United Kingdom or from America, I also have some news as well about special assistance as well, which I just want to highlight too. Plus, we're going to be talking about what the island is like in the final 2 weeks of the summer season, especially if you're coming over, what exactly you can expect. And we have a weather forecast for the week ahead. And I'll tell you now, it's very, very warm down here. It feels like we've rolled the clock back towards August somehow. But anyway, more on that later. Okay, so we're going to start this video by talking about the EES. And that means the replacement of passport stamping and the introduction of biometric photo and fingerprint taking for third country travellers. So those travelling in from the United Kingdom or from the United States, for example, coming into the European Union. Now, this was all supposed to start on November the 10th this year, which is literally just weeks away. But following a meeting by the European Commission, they've now decided to postpone the start date for this, just because of the huge amount of bureaucracy involved and the time delays as well, which it's going to cause. It's going to cause widespread chaos in airports and ports as well throughout Europe. Now, I've got some interesting facts and stats for you, which I'm going to come to in just one moment. But this decision has been the result of a huge travel industry backlash too. In fact, the EasyJet boss, Johan Lundgren, I think I pronounced his name properly, came out in the press last week to say that this EES would result in passengers having to be forced to be kept on flights because the airport arrivals terminal would just be too busy with the processing of all the passengers coming through. So you can imagine what that would involve as well. If you keep everyone on the flight, then it's going to then mean that the departure flight will go out late. You're going to have horrendous delays. There's going to be huge amounts of compensation as well paid to passengers, and it's going to just basically bring down the travel industry. It'll just be absolutely horrific. So I'm really happy to say that the EES for the time being has now been postponed, and do you know what, there's no start date either for 2025. However, what they are going to do is a very casual and a phased rollout in some much smaller airports and ports around Europe. Now, I have heard rumour actually, and I do refer to a comment that was left on the channel a few weeks ago by someone that said that they're now doing this in one of the island airports in the Canary Islands. Let me know if you got fingerprinted and you had your biometric photo taken. Let's find out which airports are currently trialling this as well, and whether it's affected your travel plans, or whether you've got through the airport really quickly. It'll give some kind of indication as to how this is going to go next summer. But also, the decision was taken on the basis that Germany, France and the Netherlands just are not ready for this either. They just can't cope with the huge amount of travellers that they have coming through their airports, which leads me on to some really interesting facts and stats that I got from Aina from Palma Airport just this morning actually. So this is hot off the press, but listen to this. So during the month of September over at Palma Airport, just to give you an idea of the amount of passengers that we have going through the airport, last month Palma Airport handled over 4 million passengers, which is just incredible. So from the United Kingdom alone, there were 816,306 passengers that went through Palma Airport in September, so that's arriving and departing. This equates to approximately 27,000 Brits either leaving or departing every single day. So that's a lot of people entering and leaving through Terminal A or Module A every single month. I mean, that's just crazy. And this is just September, this isn't even peak season. And these figures as well represent approximately a 5.5 increase in travellers as well year on year. So we can see that tourism is increasing over here on the island. So from January to September as well, just to put this completely into context, 27.5 million passengers have flown through Palma Airport. So you can imagine if you were to implement this EES, it would create absolute chaos in the airports as well, and I think they need to find a smoother way of doing it and make sure the software works as well to allow a fast passage through the airport, because we can't have those kind of delays, and we can't have passengers being holed up on planes either. It'd just be absolutely horrendous. So it's been rumoured to be put back as well after next summer season. I'm going to keep you up to date with the developments on this, because I know it might be a maker or a breaker for as to whether you come to Europe on your holiday or not. So consider subscribing to the channel. I bring out weekly updates from over here in Mallorca about travel news that's going to affect you as well as well as what's happening here on the island too in terms of tourism too. So subscribe to the channel and I shall keep you posted. Okay, so what does this mean for you travelling into Spain or indeed anywhere in Europe? Well, everything's going to continue exactly as it has done. If you are over the age of 18, you can use the electronic gates. You just pop your passport into the little reader, the gates open, you go through, you then have to join another queue to get your passport stamped. This only applies to third country travellers, so if you're coming from the UK or from, like, say, America. If you're coming in from the EU, well, you just walk straight through the airport and leave again. You don't have any of this nonsense. It's the way it used to be, actually. But anyway, times have changed. Times have changed. If you are travelling as a family, if you're under the age of 18, you're going to have to go through the police check. They'll manually check your passport, and then again, if you're from a third country, you're going to have to go and join that police queue as well and get it stamped manually too. Of course, if you're a resident here and a British passport holder, you just go straight through after that point. So nothing basically is going to change until we get another update about the ETIAS, which is looking like now it's going to be at some point in 2025, or maybe after all that expense it might not even happen at all. However, the EU do have an obligation to implement this hard border, because at the end of the day it's what was voted for by the United Kingdom. They wanted the Brexit, and the EU somehow have to deliver upon this without causing a massive kind of like travel chaos at every single airport in Europe. So I don't know how they're going to do it, but something has to be done basically to implement Brexit. So it's an ongoing thing. We thought Brexit was done. Brexit never did get done, did it? Which leads me on to talking about the ETIAS visa waiver. Now, once again, this was due to be implemented in 2025. The ETIAS visa waiver is a waiver for any non-EU citizens. So, of course, once again, the citizens of the United Kingdom, passport holders from the United Kingdom and from America, for example, or Canadians, they'll need to get the ETIAS visa waiver, which entitles them to easier and visa-free travel to European countries for a certain period of time. They should be able to apply for it online as of next year. There also isn't a start date for that either. So is that going to happen in 2025? I don't know, but once again, I've heard rumours too that I think they're going to phase this in gradually. So at first it may be optional, and then after that point as well it'll be obligatory, but I think they're going to try and get the summer season done and dusted before they make this a condition of travel, because as you can imagine, the absolute chaos at the airports with people turning up in the United Kingdom, all those 800,000 that are likely to travel per month next year without this visa waiver. So of course there's got to be an easier way of doing this as well, and there's got to be an easier way of delivering upon this too. So that's it on the travel news front. In summary, everything's staying the same. You don't need to worry. It's looking like not much is going to change for next summer, but we shall see. And as I said, I'll keep you posted. Now, staying at the airport as well, if you were watching my live stream from over in Calamilor and Calabona last night, I did ask that if anyone had any comments regarding special assistance at the airport from this summer, if you came over using special assistance at Palma Airport and you do have an experience that you would like to tell me about, please drop me an email on alex@MallorcaUnderTheSun.com or drop a comment on this video as well. I'm collecting any comments and experiences because of course I had quite a few comments this summer over on the Mallorca Under the Sun Facebook group. I'm collating those comments and I'm going to send them to the airport. I'll probably make a video about it as well, and I would like to get some kind of response, give you guys a little bit of confidence for travelling over if you do require assistance for next year as well. So leave me a comment, let me know what you thought, good or bad. Let me know what you thought, and we'll see what's going to happen on the special assistance front for next summer. Okay, so we are in the final 2 weeks of the summer season, and I have to say here, you can see I'm in the Food and Netta Cafe on Magaluf Beach. But one thing I didn't tell you at the beginning of this video is that it hasn't actually opened today. I don't have my Frappuccino, I've got my water bottle, so it looks like the Food and Netta Cafe has already closed, and we're going to see a gradual and very slow closing of hotels and businesses across the islands in this final 2 weeks of the summer season. Now, once again, if you saw my live stream from over Calabona way last night, you'll know that we have some hotels actually closing their doors this week. So the Hotel Sur and the Athlon are going to be closing. Same goes as well in many of the other resorts. There's also a much bigger bigger hotels are going to be closing their doors in the next 7 to 10 days as well. So if you do have a booking and you are coming over to the island, don't worry too much. There's still plenty open. There's still plenty of restaurants and bars open. There's still plenty of nightlife open as well too. You're still going to get entertainment in the hotels. We've got lots of venues as well offering evening entertainment. If you don't know where to go, head on over to the Mallorca Under the Sun Facebook group and ask about the resort you're staying in as well. I'm sure you're going to get plenty of feedback from holidaymakers who are over here at the moment and can advise too. But I've seen, you know, most of the bars, particularly in busy resorts, are open, so don't worry too much. Now the bad news is, and it's not something that normally happens over here on the island, but it seems that building works are taking place increasingly more during the month of October. I'm not happy about it, and I'm pretty sure you're not happy about it if you're coming over here on holiday and rock up to basically a building site. And of course we don't need to look too far away than Magaluf Beach itself, on the far end of Magaluf Beach. If you are coming to Magaluf and you didn't see my video from last Friday, I'll drop a link to it below as well. But we are seeing some quite major building works taking place in some of the resorts. So we're looking at obviously Magaluf Beach, the far end of Magaluf Beach, and is undergoing considerable reconstruction. We've got works going on up on Alcudia Beach. I've got a video coming out tomorrow with some works that are going on over in Calamilor as well. So keep an eye on those videos, and I'll bring you any other updates that I've got coming out over the island for this week as well, just so you're aware of them. I also spoke to Tui this morning too about anyone who does have holidays booked, particularly to Magaluf, because I know that the whole refurbishment of the beach, that the works that are happening here on the beach came as a little bit of a shock to many holidaymakers who've come over here on holiday, and they may not have had time to advise everybody. Check your emails if you are coming over here to Magaluf, because they will give you the option to either change your holiday or cancel as well. So just bear that in mind. Same goes with Jet2 as well. They should have emails going out to anybody who may be affected by any building work. So keep an eye on your email, and then you'll be given the option to possibly change your holiday. One other thing I have to mention too, there may be many things winding down here, but there's one thing that's actually ramping up, and that's the mosquito situation. I got absolutely chomped last night in Calabona as I was leaving. The sun had gone down, it turned into dusk, and the mozzies were out in force. So I'm putting that out as a warning. I've had some comments on the YouTube channel, over on the Facebook group as well, of people that have been really badly bitten up in the north and east of the island as well. Bear that in mind, come prepared. Try and wear out long trousers and something covering your arms as well in the evening. It's getting a little bit cooler at night, so you may want to cover up anyway, and you'll avoid getting bitten. But from what I was wearing yesterday with my short shorts and my vest top as well, I did get bitten quite a bit. So just bear that in mind if you're coming over. Bring protection, bring treatment, and make sure you get a plug-in for your room as well. But those little blighters are out in force, just to warn you. Finally as well, just another point too, I've noticed that some of the beaches are looking a little bit seaweedy at the moment. At this time of year, in the final couple of weeks of the season, you're not going to see that seaweed being cleared away. Why? Because as we enter the winter months, we're going to start getting storms over here, and this seaweed helps protect the sand. It keeps the sand on the beach as well for next year. They won't clear it away until next season, so you're going to see a kind of a gradual build-up of seaweed on some of the beaches. The sand is still being cleaned though, don't worry about that. That will be cleaned until the end of the season, but maybe just on the shoreline you may find in some resorts a little bit of a build-up of seaweed. Don't worry, it's not poisonous, it's not gonna kill you, but just to make you aware as well, it's not dirt either, it's just seaweed, it's perfectly natural. So it's better we keep our beaches protected over the winter than have them all wash away by next season. Okay, so the big question for the week ahead is, what is the weather going to be like? The weather is going to be mixed this week. We have daytime highs of 29 degrees Celsius and lows of 13 degrees. And as the week progresses, it is going to cool down slightly. Now we do have, and I've got a bit of bad news, some storms predicted for Tuesday afternoon. The levels of humidity are going to be quite high. We're going to have a bit of a build-up of a little bit of stormy weather. It might not be island-wide though, so don't panic too much. We might get these isolated storms and showers breaking out in various resorts around the island. It's a little bit hard to pinpoint exactly where they're going to be, but often these storms don't tend to hang around, and pretty much after it's rained that sun does come out again, so don't worry too much. We also have a few showers, and I've seen them forecast for both Friday and Saturday as well. But the rest of the week looks like we're going to have plenty of sunshine. So as I've said, don't worry too much, but do bring out a mix of clothes, particularly if it's going to cool off towards the end of the week. You might need a little something warmer to go out at the end of the week as well. And with it cooling down too, the evenings, as I've said, are going to be just a little bit cooler. Okay everyone, that's the news update from this week from over here on the islands. I'm going to be back here next week. Might not be in the Food and Nessa cafe, it depends if they move the tables or chairs or not. Otherwise I'm going to be somewhere else, but have a fantastic week ahead. If you're coming over, travel safe, have an amazing time, and I'm going to be out and about filming in the resorts as well, so look out for me too, particularly if you want to come on the channel. Okay everyone, also if you have a question, head on over to the Mallorca Under the Sun Facebook group, make sure you join that as well. Pop your question on there and you're going to get hopefully lots of really fantastic replies too. But for now, from a very warm Magaluf, thanks for watching. I shall see you on the next video. Goodbye for now.